What is going on, everybody? It is Fitz and my Skyline back here with another video, and tonight we're going to be doing a little Q&A FAQ video. So that is a question and answer and a frequently asked questions video. I'm going to start off with the frequently asked questions that are going to relate to Skylines in general, and then I'll move to the questions that people had about my Skyline, plans, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, so the number one question that I get asked when I'm driving my Skyline is, what is it like to drive on the right side? So right off the bat, now that I'm used to it, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that it's not that hard. It was challenging at first for like 30 minutes, and I did have trouble staying in the lane a little bit on the way home from Florida, but for now, I've got it all figured out. But some things to note being on the right side of the car like this. One is that your blinker is on this side. Your lights are also on this side. And then your wipers are on the left side. Along with that stuff being switched, so is your shift knob. The shift knob is on your left here, as you guys can see, and the shift pattern is the same. So over and up, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Down here, the pedal position is still the same: clutch, brake, gas. So a second really common question that I get is this thing fast? I don't want to say it's fast. All right, it's definitely quicker than the BMW was, but I'm running stock boost, which is like 9-10 pounds, something like that. It's all-wheel drive, so it's gonna be a little bit slower than the rear-wheel drive versions, and it's a GTST with the RB20 instead of the RB25. I'm gonna say that this thing has like 215 horsepower, something like that, to the wheels. But overall, no, it is not fast, but yes, it sounds really cool. The third really common question that people have, if I just pull up to a light or I'm in a parking lot somewhere, is where is this thing from? If you're clicking on this video, you probably know that it's from Japan, but you may not know where to get one. That is also another common question. Hey, where can I get one? Where did you get this? You can import it yourself, which is kind of harder. It's really not that bad, but I didn't want to pay to do that or figure that out, so I went through an importer, which is the second option. You buy it from basically a dealership that imported the car. Or the third option is buying one that is already in the States. So from Japan, originally, like that's where they're made. You can get them from Canada and Australia, but originally made in Japan, and then you can get them from an importer already in the States or import it yourself. The fifth really common question that I get is, how much does it cost? So you can pick up a GTST for anywhere from $7,000 for a ragged out one, or $18,000-$19,000 for a super mint collector's GTST. I got mine for somewhere in between that, but I am personally happy with what I paid for it. The next really common question I get about owning a Skyline is, do I get a lot of attention? Yes, I do. I honestly don't like all the attention. Like, it's cool sometimes, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not that great, because most of that, and I touched on this in my last video, most of that attention is negative attention. People trying to race, people taking pictures and kind of swerving in my lane, dangerous stuff like that. You know, I'm not into racing. I baby this thing. This is my child. I'm not trying to go fast, all right? Yes, I do get a lot of attention when I take this thing out. So the last common Skyline question that I'm gonna answer is this reliable? Is the RB20 reliable? My answer is gonna be yes, because this is a stock RB20. It's not tuned. It doesn't have anything done to it. And the inline sixes are absolutely invincible if you take care of them. So my boss at Advance and one of the commercial guys at Advance change their oil every 3,000 miles, completely different vehicles, and they're at like 270,000 miles each. So if you take care of your vehicles, no matter what it is, it's gonna last. But especially being an inline six Japanese car, we're gonna be all right. Into the questions that you guys had for me personally about my Skyline. Jello J666, DSW Media, and Zach Ely asked me, what are my plans for it? More specifically, am I gonna drift it? Is it gonna be a show car? Is it gonna be stanced? Is it gonna stay stock? So I'm gonna go ahead and answer that right now. Goals and plans for this thing. First of all, I wanna get some wheels. I don't know if I wanna tell you guys yet what I wanna get. You know what, I will, whatever. Pink graham lights, neon pink graham lights on the white, I just think would look absolutely sick. And then after that, probably a couple months from now, in 6, 8 months, I have no idea, to be honest, I want to bag this thing, yes. I know, all right? Just all you enthusiasts, JDM enthusiasts out there, don't even bother commenting, because I want to take care of this car as much as possible. And yes, static stance is cool as... I thought they were coming in here, to be honest. But anyways, static stance is cool as hell. I'm just not about it, all right? I know I talked a lot of shit about bags before, but honestly, they're practical, okay? They are really expensive, but I'll save up, whatever. It's just gonna be so sick to have one, a functional ride height, and two, be able to air out for shows and stuff like that. And air up for roads that I have to, like generous driveway. But anyways, wheels, bags, and then lastly, probably the big thing that I want to do is I do want to get a 90s livery on this thing. I don't know if I want to go simple or do something like that HKS wrapped Skyline, or I don't know yet. I don't know, but that is the future plans. Those are the future plans for my Skyline. Next, Dense, and I think your name's Harrison, I think, on Instagram asked why the sedan over the coupe. And honestly, this is a great question, dude. I appreciate it. If you just walk around and look at a 4-door Skyline, I think it is just so much cooler than a 2-door, right? Because 2-door is kind of like the, you know, it's a GTR thing. But when you look and you see a 4-door Skyline, I just think it's so much cooler. And you have so much more possibilities to make it look cooler rather than go fast. And that's exactly what I want to do with the car. So I just think, one, it looks better personally, and two, since it's not a GTR, I do like the 4-door look. So Matt at Not Your Cloud God on Instagram asks the history of the car and why do I think it's special. So the history of the car, the Skyline, the GTR, was a Japanese icon in the 90s, and it still is today. The other history of the car is that this thing was imported in July of this year, July of 2019, and it has 60,000 miles on it. Other than that, it looks like it was a previous fitment or stance car. I wouldn't say stance, but at least fitment car, because the fenders are rolled and the engine bay is kept really clean, actually. And then why do I think it's special? It's a Skyline. It's not every day that you get to see a Skyline in the United States, and it's a turbo 6-cylinder 4-door from the 90s, and that is just so badass to me. So that's the history of it, and that's why I think it's special. The next question here from Zach Mullins: when am I gonna big turbo this thing? Probably never, to be honest with you. If the RB20 turbo goes out, I'm gonna look at prices for the RB25 turbo, and then if, pray to God, tens of thousands of years from now this thing blows up, might put an RB25 in it, might just put an RB20 back in it. But to answer your question, I will not be big turboing it anytime soon. So lastly, I also got a couple of video suggestions. Here you go. From Baby Camby's Chase on Instagram: stop asking people for ideas. You're the YouTuber, slam it, bitch. Thank you, Chase. Video idea from Modelo Mello, Carmelo, with the other guy with the R32 Skyline. Video idea: massive Skyline burnout. No. Thank you, Carmelo. So lastly, from Stance_Jesus Kenny on Instagram. Kenny, this wasn't a question or a video idea, but bags, even though you talked about them. Yes, Kenny, give me a couple months, we'll get there. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. This has been Fitz Miller in my Skyline, back here with another video. If there's anything I missed, if you guys still have any more questions, be sure to let me know. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.